You can't cheat those numbers. You can't cheat VO2 max.
Power in the pedals, power in the pedals.
You doing this test proves,
Right, we're going up.
look, this stuff, you take it 2 weeks,
Keep working, keep working.
it's gonna work.
Nice work, nice work, nice work. Way to go, way to go, way to go.
Yeah, so I had a minor surgery for a deviated septum, and so I got off the products. I was on Extreme Endurance, Immune, and our Omega, and I haven't been off Extreme Endurance for probably 5 to 6 years. Got off those products for 3 weeks. Came in here on that 3rd week and tested the VO2 max. Got back on the supplements, Extreme Endurance, 3 in the morning, 3 at night. Immune Boost, 3 in the morning, 3 at night. And then Omega, 1 in the morning, 1 at night for 2 weeks. So it's been 14 days. Came back and it tested my VO2 max and along with some other numbers, and I'm kind of blown away.
My name is Anna Sparks. I own Sparks Systems. We are a health and performance coaching company that is differentiated by our utilization of metabolic testing as a baseline measurement in order to put together proper nutrition, movement, and breathing plans for clients. What we just did with Jason was we actually did a resting metabolic test, was the first test we started with. And then we moved him into an active metabolic test on the bike. So what it's gonna be like for him is that it's like he's warming up, heading over to a climb, and it's just I'll increase the intensity on the bike, so I'll increase the wattage on the bike, and it's gonna feel like he's just starting to climb. And so it's gonna be pretty easy in the beginning, he'll be fine, and then as we progress along, it's gonna start to get harder and harder, and then by the end, he'll be at a maxed effort. Keep working, come on, come on. Nice work, nice work, nice work. Way to go, way to go. Nice job, all right, we're going into recovery.
That hurt.
Yeah.
I didn't really feel like it was my lungs, my legs were done.
You don't change anything, breathe is normal, you're getting in as much oxygen as you would be without that mask on, all right? So just stay calm. If at any time you start to feel nauseous or lightheaded, just stop pedaling and I'll take the mask off of you. 15 seconds left in this thing. Let's go, let's go. You got it, you got it, you got it. Good job, good job, good job.
I had a lot more to give this time though.
You did?
Yeah.
What could you compare the last 30 seconds to of that test?
Well, it wouldn't be the last 30 seconds, it's probably the last 2 minutes. I think I remember hitting around 260 last time where I was completely dead like I was at 310. I felt like I had an extra gear. So I was able to kick another gear but maintain and not feel like I was burning out, you know? Definitely felt I had a lot more today though, for sure. When she said I hit my threshold, I was like, I feel like I'm just getting started.
Right.
My legs didn't burn as bad as they did last time, so I was able to maintain that threshold for, it seems like a lot longer than last time. We'll see.
How do you feel like the test went today?
He actually did very, very well. Now looking at his data, he improved pretty much across the board in all areas. So his VO2 max last time, he actually achieved it at a heart rate of 188 beats per minute, and today he achieved it at 188 beats per minute. The real big change though was that before he hit his VO2, he was only putting out 250 watts, and today he was putting out 310 watts at his VO2. So that's a massive increase in wattage. But the really cool component of this is that his relative VO2, which is measured in milliliters per kilogram per minute, which takes his body weight into the equation. So Jason's body weight from test 1 to test 2 didn't change. He was at 180 pounds both times. So what we would normally see is that if he came back in and he had lost weight, we would usually see that VO2 had gone up just because he's lost weight, his relative VO2. So the number that we would actually focus on would be absolute VO2. Absolute VO2, you can see it's measured in liters per minute. It takes body weight out of the equation. So now we are able to compare apples to apples. We're not worried about did his weight fluctuate at all. We're just looking at how well is he able to consume and utilize oxygen, right? So how well is he taking in that oxygen and how well is it working in his body, in his cells? And we know that having a higher VO2 max is directly correlated with a lower chance of developing cardiovascular disease. Typically, as we age, VO2 usually begins to drop, or even small changes in VO2, we say are really, really big, massive, right? So as you can see, Jason's VO2 his relative VO2 went up from a 41.9 to a 46.9. So that's a huge increase. But the number that I'm really looking at is how much did his absolute VO2 go up? And it actually went from 3.42 to 3.83. That's a huge increase. And we're talking in only 2 weeks' time. And the only change that we made was adding back in the Xendurance supplements. And so that alone right there in all of this is massive. That's a massive, massive gain.